The Gables Assisted Living is showing care, compassion, and comfort by honoring East Idaho survivors.
I thought to myself, there's not much I can do, but I was glad I was being rescued.
For Arlene Hicks, it's still hard to talk about.
There were many, many miracles along the way.
As she recalls everything that happened the afternoon of October 20th. Arlene and her husband Veldon were driving through the Snake River Canyon near Jackson Hole, Wyoming, on their way to watch a granddaughter play volleyball. Veldon was behind the wheel. Arlene had fallen asleep when suddenly she was jolted awake.
The man behind us said that my husband crossed the road and hit the left side and then crossed over to the right side, and we took out 6 rails and our car plunged down into the river.
The car rolled 4 times and ended upright, submerged in the 33-degree water. Arlene wasn't sure what to do.
The sunroof, I looked up and it was opened, but when they got the car out of the river, they said the sunroof was not broke, it had actually opened, which we know is another miracle that I was able to climb out.
A man living nearby witnessed the crash and called his neighbor, off-duty Sergeant Lloyd Funk of the Teton County, Wyoming Sheriff's Office.
I went to the car, or truck, threw the paddleboards in, and kind of drove up to where they said it was in the river.
As Funk worked his way down the 200-foot ledge, another man yelled to a father and son fishing in a boat on the river.
They said, we better put our fishing gear away and go see what's happening.
Funk and the fishermen met up and rowed over to Arlene, who was realizing that her husband of 58 years had likely passed away.
I knew my husband was gone because he would not lift up his head. I kept trying to rescue and get him out of the seatbelt, thinking I need to get him out of the water.
Veldon's body was recovered from the car a few hours later. It was determined he had died of a massive heart attack. As for Arlene, as the men in the boat approached her, they threw her a rope. She took it, tied it around her waist, then made her way to safety.
I said, I bet I'm the biggest fish you've ever caught.
With that sense of humor in the midst of tragedy, Arlene was taken to the shore, where she was then rushed by ambulance to St. John's Hospital in Jackson Hole. Despite the traumatic events, she ended up with only 3 stitches in her ear, 3 broken ribs, and a small crack on her shoulder. Another miracle, she says.
I just feel like I have more to do. My husband was perfect. He had done so many wonderful things, and apparently I have more to do.
A few days later, Sergeant Funk visited Arlene in the hospital, and the fishermen from Minnesota, they stopped by too. And now all of them have developed a close friendship.
Gosh, what a miracle, to have Arlene and have her be safe after, just the crash itself. It's a team effort. Not one person could have come away with the outcome we did that day. It took a group effort.
Arlene says she could go on and on about other miracles that day. The fact her glasses were found sitting gently on a rock near the water without a scratch. The fact that the car went off the road at a spot where witnesses could help. And the fact that the right people happened to be at the right place at the right time to save this mother of 7, grandmother of 31, great-grandmother of 22, and lifetime best friend of Veldon Hicks.
I feel his guidance a lot. I feel his love and care. I will be with him again.
The Gables Assisted Living is showing care, compassion, and comfort by honoring East Idaho survivors.